Welcome to the Pal Pod, a casual petitive look at Bushiroad's Palworld trading card game. I'm one of your hosts, Cameron, here as always with my buddy, my pal.
I'm just a pal in your world. My name is Eric.
Right.
I'm also here. We are back. We're talking about card games. Can you believe it?
Back, baby. We're so back.
We're so fucking back. Yeah, so we are CasualPetitive Games. We take a casual and competitive look at trading card games and just games in general, games of all kind. Yeah. So if you're new to our channel, that's what you can expect. We have caught the Palworld bug, and that's mostly thanks to going to Gen Con this past weekend, getting our hands on some cards, cranking out some games, and also thanks to this amazing website that I would like to shout out because we are also using it today, the palworldtcg.gg website. Seriously, go check this thing out. They have a full catalog of all the cards. You can build decks. You can, if you make an account, you can save them, and you can even play Palworld TCG on this website. It's fully scripted. Whoever made this thing, you're a freaking genius. I love you. I give you a little
incredible.
kiss. Yeah.
Yeah, you get one little kiss from both of us.
Yeah. I mean, with that said, I don't know who made it, so I don't know like the security of the website and stuff. So maybe just make like a separate account. Don't like link your Gmail and stuff to it. I don't know. We're not responsible for anything that
I'm getting 20 spam phone calls a day, but it's okay.
It's probably fine. I'm sure whoever made this, I'm sure has good intentions because it seems like they poured their heart and soul into this website. But
yeah.
Anyways, the Palworld TCG, Cam, you and I have been playing the Palworld video game, and I feel like this TCG is hitting at the perfect time. The 1.0 update for the video game just came out. I'm pretty into it. You're pretty into it.
Yeah, it's been a sickness. I do not casually play the video game, that's for sure. I play for like 8 hours at a time. And, it's really, really fun. I'm like level 40, so I'm still a baby in the PAL world compared to some of the things I see online. But as far as the card game is concerned, I'm ready to be just as competitive, just as not casual. Because my goodness, it scratches an itch and it fills a hole in my heart that was so rudely left there when Bandai killed Battle Spirit Saga.
Yeah, this is the closest I've felt a card game has felt to Battle Spirit Saga since we unfortunately had to stop playing that game officially. So
yeah,
I'm so excited for this. With that said, we're kind of going to do, if you're familiar with our content for Battle Spirit Saga and you're stepping into Palworld, you're going to enjoy this. We're doing like an old school absolute BSS style video series. We're going to upload multiple parts, but we're going to start off with the red cards and the colorless cards in this video. So let's just get right into it, I think.
Sure.
We're starting off with a banger of a card right now.
Yeah.
So how do I say this card's name? Do you know? Is it Yormuntide?
I believe it's Yormuntide Ignis.
Okay. Yormuntide Ignis Savage Lava Dragon. So it's an 8 cost. It's a dragon and fire type, as you can see from the little symbol in the middle right there. It's a Lucky Pal, which you can only have 8 of in your deck, which is a very cool deck building restriction. It stops you from putting like some of the most powerful pals into your deck, but also serves a mechanical purpose. When you take damage to your life and you flip a card over, if it's a Lucky Pal, you just don't take damage. So you want to have 8 of the Lucky Pals in your deck. I think this guy definitely makes a strong argument for being 4 of.
Yeah, it's so powerful. Like, this is your Charizard of the Palworld set as far as you know, poster child red dragon. And yeah, I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself.
No, you're good.
Keep going through the cards. Go through the cards.
So he has 1700 attack, which is pretty good. I'm still kind of getting my, feeling out where like standard attack numbers should be, but I've sort of, and correct me if I'm wrong or if you have a different sense, I feel like 1500 and above is typically like pretty strong.
Pretty strong. I have seen a blue creature that we'll talk about in a separate video get well over 3,000.
Mm,
But that is definitely more an abnormality. I would say, yeah, 15 to 2,000, you're looking at a very sticky pal.
yeah.
You're gonna have to trade multiple pals into one of these to get it off of the table, or use a kill spell or something like that. I agree.
Yeah, and also, even if you're not super familiar with the Palworld card game, but you're curious, this is still be a good video for you to watch because I'm gonna go into some of the mechanics here. Not only do pals have power, which they use to deal with other pals. So you compare the numbers between the pals when they're fighting. There's also a strike number, and each player starts the game with 10 life. And whenever you strike someone, which means you're attacking them directly, your attack is not blocked by another pal, you deal that number of damage to their life points directly. But it's not just immediate. It's, again, this lucky pal thing comes into play. That player flips over that many cards from the top of their deck. So in this case, this guy would make you flip over 4 cards. And as long as none of those pals or none of those cards that were flipped over were lucky pals, that's 4 damage straight to somebody's face. So this guy is a threat against fellow pals and also against players. Pretty powerful guy.
Yeah. And did you read his ability?
Oh, that's right. he he's not a vanilla card. He also has an ability where once per turn you can either pay 3 resources. What are those called in this game? Souls.
Souls. Yep.
And you get souls are like in a lot of other games. It's you know
Your
how
mana.
yeah they're mana. You get 2 of them every turn, and then you just kind of build up to a max of 10.
Yep.
But you pay 3 or discard 2 cards from your hand, and then he just gets to ready. So you could, in theory, if somebody's wide open, as long as you don't hit any lucky pals off the top of their deck, you could deal 8 damage to somebody in a single turn with this guy.
Also worth noting in this game, there is no like summoning sickness or anything like that. So you can just drop this guy straight out of your hand at the start of your turn for 8 souls. And he's primed and ready to attack up to 2 times that turn.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's definitely a late game heavyweight, very powerful pal. And if you know anything about Eric, he loves aggro
Yeah.
decks, especially in trading card games infancy. And so I've had to deal with this guy swinging at my face for a total of 8 hits multiple times already in our in our few Pal World games that we have played.
He is really good. He's honestly, if I had to say like I had a favorite card, I'm glad we're starting with this one because I think this is my favorite card from the first set. So
Yeah, very powerful.
really strong. So something to note here, he costs 8 and his ability costs either 3 or you have to discard 2 cards from your hand. So you cannot pay the 3 on the same turn that you play him. You'd have to discard two
That's a good
cards
point.
because you have a maximum of 10 souls. So you can't,
Yes.
that would cost 11 to do that. So you can't do that. But you can
Although
still discard.
there is writing in this game that says 10 or more souls. So I am
Okay.
curious to see if a new color is introduced at some point that may let you break that top end of 10 at least temporarily during a turn or something like that.
Ooh. If we're
And then
going
in that case, this guy gets really even more powerful.
Yeah, maybe like in a lot of games that have these energy type resources, they have like temporary energy where it's like once you spend
Yeah.
it, it goes away. Maybe if we're going the route of I know this is a Bushi Road card game, but if we're going the route of a Bandai card game, maybe a yellow faction or something at some
You
point.
know I'm keeping my eyes
Yeah.
out for yellow pals, baby. You know I am.
All
All right,
right.
on to the next one.
Yeah. Great
All
card.
right.
I think he's awesome. All right.
Yeah,
Uh,
very good.
the next one, you want to read this one?
Yeah. This is Suzaku Hellfire Wings, a 7-cost Lucky Pal with the Kindling trait. We'll get to that more when we talk about the structures. But this one has a continuous ability. When your red card would deal damage other than battle damage to a pal, deal 200 plus damage instead. And that also strengthens this card's ability because on deploy, meaning just when you play it from your hand, choose up to 1 pal and deal 700, 900 damage to it.
Mm.
It has 1200 power and it has strike 3. Yeah, pretty good. There are a lot of purple, which we'll get to obviously if you're familiar with other card games that have a similar color mechanic. Purple is like the instant kill. Red typically deals with the numbers,
Yeah.
and so you're gonna find these red cards that manipulate those numbers. Suzaku mixed with some of the guns in the game, the red gear that we'll get to, can really wipe a board completely
Yeah.
open. So pretty good. Also a strong contender for at least being, uh, maybe a 2 of Lucky Pal. I need to see the other Lucky Pals. I'm not as convicted to put 4 of these as I am the Yormintide, but,
Yeah.
pretty cool card nonetheless.
Yeah, he has 1200 power and 3 strike, so for 1 less energy, that's a pretty big difference in power level compared to the Yormintide. But I think what's cool about this guy is you're not just throwing him like Yormintide you could throw into any red deck and it'd be good.
Yeah.
This guy I think you have to build around because you're wanting
Yeah.
those damage abilities to fire so that you're adding that plus 200 to them.
Yeah, I would argue Suzaku is more for a control deck, like a board control. He's got
Mm-hmm.
the AoE abilities that pair nicely with, again, some of the gear that we'll be talking about that comes out, deals a lot of damage to all pals on your opponent's side of the field. And this just really makes sure that those, that maths,
Yeah,
and that you can clear out a lot of pals all at once.
yeah. So maybe you want to attach some guns to this bad boy.
Yeah.
All right, on to the next one.
Yes. Oh, I love this guy.
I saw this guy last night when I was messing around with deck building, and I built a whole deck around him. So, um,
Oh,
so this is Gobfin Ignis, Blazing Hothead. He's a fire type pal. This is our first normal pal. So these are not lucky. They do not prevent damage if they get flipped off the top of your deck. But there's a lot of cards that reference normal pals, as in like you can bring a normal pal back or add a normal pal to your hand. So
yeah.
anyways, he's a 4-cost pal, 400 attack, 2 strike. So he's kind of weak, but the 2 strike is not nothing. 2 strike is pretty
No,
good.
two strike is great.
But he has a continuous ability. All of your other red pals get plus 300. So
So
he
good.
does not buff himself, but my idea for this was to essentially play like a mono red deck and just
Yeah.
go all in on red pals. Now, for the splash color, and we'll talk about this in a later video because I think it's one of the most splashable colors, I'm playing blue because I want all
Yeah.
of the event cards and other stuff out of that. But yeah, I think if you're playing a red deck, again, kind of similar to Suzaku, this is not somebody that you just throw into every deck. I think you need to think about this one and decide if it's worth putting in your deck. And I believe if you have multiples of these out, they trigger on each other, right?
I would think so. I was about to bring that up.
Yeah.
So in the deck building constrictions, you can only use 4 of any one pal of the
Mm-hmm.
same name. But that would just mean, for example, say you have all 4 of your Gobfin Ignises out, 3 of them would be buffing the one that's not buffing itself, meaning all of them are then 1300 with 2 strike for a
Yeah.
relatively low cost. That's pretty good.
I mean, if you're at that point, that's like the power level of like Suzaku that we were just looking at.
Yes, exactly. And
So
then with 4 Gobfins and you drop Yormintide, then you're sitting at a 2,700 4-strike Yormintide, which is no,
that you
even
can
more,
that
3,000.
you could just ready up and attack again.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Gobfin is definitely, yeah, the mono red minion that makes the math really favorable for your matchup. I'm gonna have to look at a mono red deck too because I love this Gobfin guy.
Yeah. If he comes out, I think he becomes an instant target. You're probably like, I don't know what my opponent's doing, but I don't like this. He needs to
Yeah.
go.
Those numbers will get out of control very, very quickly.
All right.
All right, on to the next one. I wish we had a term for the pals that do this because we're gonna see this ability a lot.
Yeah.
Um, but we'll talk about it here in a minute. So this is Bushi Ephemeral Blade. This is a 5 cost with interrupt, which I'll explain in a minute. Lucky Pal. He has an automatic ability. At the end of the battle this card attacked, you may return this card to your hand. And you're thinking, interesting. Why would I want to do that? Well, he has an action called interrupt. So that means from your hand while he's in there, during a quick window, you can either pay 1 soul and discard Bushi, or discard Bushi and 1 other card from your hand to nullify the opponent's attack, meaning battle damage does not occur, strike damage does not occur. It's just an ice shield from your hand if you're familiar with Battle Spirit Saga.
Yeah. So I have not really been playing with these cards as much, like this style of card that does the interrupt ability.
Yeah.
But you know how I get about card games. I start consuming all of the content that's available. I was watching a video. I think some guy was going over his deck that he used for like a one of the launch events for this game,
Mhm.
and he got first place. And he was talking about how important these abilities are. So I think I need to start maybe slotting like at least four of this a card with this type of ability in my deck.
Yeah.
Um, just
I will say
to
when we opened booster packs and just did a draft seal or a sealed basically,
mhm,
you, me, and Jonathan when we first got our cards. Because of our limited supply, I was slotting a lot of these blue and green cards with this kind of ability,
mhm.
and they did really help me stay alive long enough or, like, have my opponent tap down their pals, but for no effect, then leaving them wide open for the next turn. So, there's a lot of power coming from, uh, being able to hold these, especially if you have a lot of draw. If you are seeing a lot of cards in your gameplay, you're gonna want a lot of these because it's really cheap to just negate an attack, and that could be all you need to survive into the next round to win.
Yeah, think about Yormintide that we were just looking at. Your opponent plays Yormintide, hits you for 4. They discard 2 cards from their hand, thinking that they're going in for the game, and then you drop this, and then you
Yeah,
just totally nullify their attack. And now the Yormintide is tapped out. They've discarded 2 cards. That's a huge advantage you have over that
yeah,
player now. I think what's cool about this guy, and this makes sense, like in the lore of this character, is he comes down, you 800 attack and kill something, or you just do like a 2 strike to your opponent, and then you bounce them back to your hand, and then when your opponent tries to retaliate, you discard them to stop
yeah.
their
I
attack.
kind of I love the boldness of being like, this guy's gonna attack you directly, and he's gonna defend me next turn. Like you saw him come right back up into my hand.
Yeah.
Make my day.
Yeah,
Make
that's
my day.
that's true. They know. I forgot about that aspect. They know you have this.
Yeah.
So,
Bushi
okay.
is cool.
He is
And
cool.
feasibly, well, never mind. I was gonna say you could bring down Bushi, attack, pop him back up, bring him back down, attack, pop him back up at a turn where you have 10, but then you can't. Wait, yes, you
Yeah,
can. You
you
could
can.
discard him in another card.
Yeah, you can.
Wow. All right,
So,
I just sold Bushi for me, I think.
yeah, okay. I have a
This
few copies of this card. I should start messing around with it.
yeah, this could be a good contender for Champ or Chump also.
Could be. Maybe that
We'll
segment makes a return at the end of this video.
yeah, we'll see. We'll see for sure.
All right, next card. This one is I got like a reverse foil of this one. I don't remember what the rarity is called,
Nice.
but I was pretty excited about it. This is Reptyro or Gorger. That's hard to say.
I just caught one of these in the game.
Oh yeah, I haven't been to
Yeah.
that area in the game yet. I'm still pretty new. I'm just like building up my base. Meanwhile, Cam's flying around me on the back of some relaxed.
Alpha Dran.
Yeah, with like you have your dude with a minigun.
Yeah.
So Reptyro has an auto ability on deploy. You get 3. These are called material, right?
Material.
Okay.
Yep.
I keep wanting to say wood.
Yeah.
Then he has an action once per turn. You can consume 3 wood or 3 material. Sorry, I did it right there, which you also get from deploying him. So technically, you could do it that same turn. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Choose up to 1 8 cost or less gear from among them and deploy it. Now, there's a few really high cost gear that would be pretty sick to get out essentially for free on the same turn you play this dude.
Yeah.
Um, and even if you do this and you've spent all of his ability and he just kind of becomes a vanilla card, he has 1500 attack and 3 strike. So he's pretty powerful.
Yeah. I mean, he essentially says on the turn you play him, you have a chance to spend another 8 on top of him for free, paying
Yeah.
16 points of souls for the cost of 8 on one turn can like dramatically flip the state of the battlefield.
Yeah. And we'll talk about them later, but there are also some cards that allow you to place cards back on top of your deck. So
Yes.
there's potential for a situation where you set something up specifically to happen. So I think this guy's pretty good. I think he's powerful. I think he's another one of those. I'm noticing this as a trend with a few of the big guys, which kind of makes sense because I think this is probably how it should be for a card game. Is like your big, really expensive pals. You need to kind of build your deck around.
Yeah.
You know, you're not just
Yeah.
again, you're not just slotting this guy in any red deck. You want to have expensive gear and maybe a way to put it on top of the deck and like some combo stuff happening. But
Yeah.
I think he's
Or
pretty
simply you
good.
just want him for that material that you get on deploy. But I do think there are cheaper options that do something similar. But yeah, I love the deck building in this game so far, even just one set in, because there are these little micro decisions where it's like, oh yeah, this is a big, powerful card. I should put him in here, right?
Yeah,
Not necessarily. And I
yeah.
like that.
All right, next guy. Oh, this is a good one.
This is a good one. And I have a an SIR or some kind of equivalent of this. This is Fox Park's Light of Courage. This is a 2-cost normal red pal. It has 200 power and 1 strike, but it has an automatic ability of Brave 300, which means when this card attacks, it gets plus 300 until the end of the turn. So it's a pretty aggressive weenie killer when you attack with it. But of course, then, it turns sideways. It has 200 power on your opponent's next turn, but it's definitely an aggressive play. Cute little pal,
Yeah,
and pretty good for your aggro deck.
he's burning Weenie Hut Jr. down.
That's right.
Yeah, I this guy is a 4 of in my aggro deck.
Yeah.
He just comes out for 2. He's 500. So if you played something last turn, I kill it. If you didn't, then I'm still just advancing my game plan and striking you for 1. So
Yep.
and then
Uh-huh.
you either deal with him or you don't. And if you don't, then I'm gonna hit you right back with him next turn. So he's an
Yeah.
immediate threat. I like him a lot.
He's good.
All right, the next one, Kitsune Wormbane Fangs. I love. First of all, I love the art in this game. It's
The art is very good.
it's very
Yeah.
good. I'm so glad we didn't just get video game screen captures. I think that would have turned me off from this
Yep.
game. So really cool art on this guy. He is a 5-cost pal. He's a normal pal. He has 400 attack and strike too. So kind of low attack power, but decent strike. Now, the main reason you're playing him is this ability. So on deploy, choose up to 1 7 or greater pal and deal 1200 damage to it. So this could combo with the dragon we were talking about earlier that adds an additional 200. So then you can do 1400 to something.
Ah,
Basically, this guy comes out, and if you're trying to deal with higher attack power things, but you're going for a more low to the ground aggro strategy, he comes out and takes care of it. So that way, it's not so much of a problem for you next turn. It
yeah.
does have to be 7 cost or greater, so it can't just snipe like anything. It has to be specifically something big. But I think he's decent.
Yeah, it's not awful. It's also a cheap way to deal with an expensive problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like most of the time to beat an 8-cost pal, you have to drop one of your own 8-cost pals, and sometimes
Yeah.
the math just means that you're trading.
Yep.
And that stinks. So with Kitsune,
Yeah.
uh, dealing 1200 to something and then playing Foxsparks for 2 more, you can deal 500 more to something because damage persists till the end of the turn.
Yep.
That's 1700 damage with just 7 cost to take out a big threat with a 2-cost trade, you
Yeah.
know? So again, it's a little mathy, but that's what Red likes to do is change those numbers so quickly and drastically to make more favorable trades for yourself.
Yeah, from a card advantage standpoint, you play this guy and you kill something instantly. You have 1 card over your opponent. You have a
Yeah.
pal. They just lost theirs. Or in your other example with Fox Parks, it's like you're trading a little 2-cost dude for like an 8-cost guy. So it's
Yeah.
like huge advantage.
And then this guy can strike for 2. It doesn't matter what his power is if he's attacking your opponent directly.
Yeah,
The strike number is all you give a crap about, and 2 is good. 2 is 20% of your opponent's life. It's also only 2 cards, so the odds of seeing a Lucky Pal are lower than if you're hitting with Yormintide for 4. I'd rather have 2 more likely damage than 4 that could be canceled
yeah.
with any of those 4 cards. So
That's one of my
Pretty
favorite
pretty
aspects
cool
of this
card.
game is that figuring out what order to attack my opponent in, because I'm like,
Yeah.
ooh, if I hit him with Yormintide and I hit a Lucky Pal, then that's 4 damage you just blocked. Whereas if I kind of ping away a little bit and I knock out some of those lucky cards, and now I can like look at your discard pile and figure out how many you might have in your hand, and yeah, there's just all sorts of high level competitive stuff going on that you can really think
Yeah.
about as you're even doing something as simple as attacking the other player. There's a lot to
Yes.
think about.
It is fun. It prolongs the game a little bit too, in such a way that it's like aggro still works, don't get me
Hmm.
wrong,
Yeah,
but, aggro does not feel nearly as bad as some other games because you always have that possibility of getting the lucky strikes, allowing you to actually set up your game a little bit more against aggro decks,
yeah.
and, it just yeah, it just keeps every hit more and more exciting. I think it's a really cool mechanic.
You know me, I'm a gambler, so I love
Yeah.
flipping cards off the top of a deck and see what happens. Like.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, next one. This is a
All
fun
right.
one.
This is a fun one. So this is a 3 cost normal pal. Spark It, Hazardous Contact. He has 400 power, strike 1, but he also has an on deploy ability. Choose up to 1 pal in the stand state and deal 500 damage. So in this game, pals come in a stand state, meaning they're readied. When you are attacking, you're either targeting your opponent directly or you're targeting a rested pal, basically a pal that was used on the last turn, either to go to a structure or used to attack. So if you leave one standing, you can essentially choose to use that pal to block any other attack. But what Spark It does is punish your opponent for leaving a blocker up if they have 500 or less damage. Again, pair it with Suzaku, and now you're dealing 700 damage to a standing pal. There's no cost requirement on this one, so Spark It can come in and kind of ruin your opponent's defenses in a way for pretty cheap. 3 costs to deal 500 damage to something. He kills, I think, pretty much everything else in his weight class if they are standing. So pretty cool card.
As someone who has played around with this card quite a bit in my aggro deck, I don't know if it's maybe the way that we tend to play, but I often find that I just don't have a target for him.
Yeah,
I feel like almost always our cards are sideways, but with that said, I can really see his effectiveness if I'm trying to finish the game. If you have mathed it out to where you're like, I'm going to keep these guys up to block, these little chump blockers, and then I can like, spark it and hit your lamb ball or something to stop you from blocking my big
yeah,
Yormintide worm guy. That's when he comes into play. It's just it kind of sucks early game when I play him and then all of your pals are turned sideways already, so there's just no target for him. Something that's interesting to think about with him though, and I have not found a use in this case yet, is maybe you want to kill your own pals for some reason. It doesn't stop you from doing that. You can
true.
deal or just deal damage to your own pals. Like maybe in the future we get a card that like every time it takes damage it increases in power or something, or
Sure, that's a
gets
good point.
more strike or something. I don't know. That would be a really cool. Actually, that'd be a really cool mechanic for this electricity type of like every time you shock them, they get like
Yeah.
more strike or something. Bushy Road, hire me.
I love it.
He's cool though. I like him, and he's
Yeah,
cute. He's adorable.
he is cute.
He's
I like Sparky a
Raichu.
lot. He is.
I'm sorry, what? I didn't say that.
Legally, he's not Raichu.
Legally, he is completely distinct from Raichu.
Yes. And legally, this next one is not, oh, what's it called? Blizstrika or something. It's the Gen 5 electric zebra. Anyway, go for it, Eric.
All right. I'm not as familiar with newer. I don't even know how new that is in Pokemon terms. I'm just like a 151 guy, but I guess I kind of know through like Gen 3, but
Yeah.
because I've played those games. Anyways, that's not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about Univolt Valiant Thunderclap. So if
Gonna
you're
clap those cheeks,
he's about to
baby.
thunderclap those cheeks, baby. Um and actually he might. He's pretty powerful. 4
Yeah,
cost
this is a pretty good card.
normal pal. I play this in my aggro deck. He has Brave 300. So what's funny is this is a mechanic that mainly became familiar with from the Gundam trading card game, because there's like the Zaku 2 that when it attacks, it becomes more powerful just for that attack. And
Powerful.
powerful. It was an accident, but it worked out.
Yeah.
And I think this is actually a really cool design space for these cards because it allows you to give them lower attack power stats, but then
Yeah.
they can still be like, it gives them a really cool identity. So like when he's charging at you with his thunderclap horn,
Yeah.
he gets 300 more attack. I'm sure there's cards that we'll see at some point that like increase brave whenever it triggers or whatever.
Well, Gobfin at the very least also gives a more continuous brave
Yeah,
if it's on the field,
yeah,
transforming this guy from a 600 to a 1200 while
yeah.
it's attacking. That's pretty
Oof,
good.
that's pretty good. And he has strike too, so
Yeah.
he's dealing 2 damage to the face. So pretty good.
Yep. Solid card right there.
I really
4 cost is great.
I really appreciate, and maybe this is why we like this game so much, because it is kind of similar to Battle Spirits in that when a pal attacks someone directly, it doesn't you don't have to do a bunch of math and like minus 600 life points or something. It's
Yeah.
like it does strike damage. And what's funny is Battle Spirits, in a way, all of the cards had a printed strike damage of 1, and then in the later set they had like the double strike
Yeah.
um, ability added. So it's like it's almost like Palworld is using that design space from the very beginning of the game instead of introducing it in like set 3.
Yeah.
So
I and again, I love it. I'm obsessed with it. I think it's such a cool mechanic. Wow, I'm looking at the next one and I'm very excited about it.
go for it.
This is Ragnahawk Emberwing Striker. This is a 6 cost Lucky Pal,
Mm-hmm.
and it has 1000 power and 2 strike, and it has an automatic ability. When it attacks, choose all of your red pals. That includes itself. They get 500 attack and an extra strike until the end of the
Yeah.
turn. That's absurd. So again, your little Weenie Hut Juniors are Weenie Hut Generals with 2 strike now.
Mm-hmm.
Yormintide, God forbid you have both, gains 5 strike for the end of for the rest of the turn after Ragnahawk attacks. And wow, yeah, it turns itself into a 1500 attacker or a 3 striker. That's really good.
Yeah. There's definitely a world where you play this guy on the turn you have 6 souls, and then the very next turn you have 8, and you play Yormintide.
Yeah.
So like, it's pretty crazy. Also, this triggers every time he attacks. So if you can figure out a way to ready him, you could do it again, and it would trigger
Yeah.
again.
That is nasty.
This is no surprise, but as I mentioned earlier, I built a deck around Gobfin, and this guy is a 4 of in that deck.
Yep. And again, it's lucky, so you need that in your deck anyway to prevent some damage, but you want to be seeing this guy either on top of your deck when you're getting swung at or on your battlefield. Very cool card.
Yeah. I like that it pushes you further into this design space where you have to play red pals to fully get the ability. But
Yeah,
even on his own, every time he attacks, he's 1500 strike 3. Like, that's pretty crazy.
that's nasty.
Like, even if he's
For
like your
6 cost too.
yeah, he's your only red pal and he still has that when he attacks, that's nuts.
Yeah. Solid card.
All right, next one we got Ruby Brave Sparks. This is a 2 cost, 200 attack, 1 strike, normal pal, and then it has Sirius 400. So on assign, so this is when you assign it to a structure, you choose 1 pal and it gets plus 400 attack until end of turn. So basically, this is one of those cards, and I think every color has one of these that kind of fits the color pie, like aspect of what that color is trying to do. Red's version of this is like, this is your worker pal. You're assigning this to work at structures every turn, and then you're getting the ability out of the structure, but then also this added benefit of plus 400 attack.
Yes. So at first glance, you're looking at the win con and it's like, well, this thing's not killing pals. This thing is not striking my opponent for much. But yeah, exactly like Eric said, if you underestimate structures, which we'll be getting to here soon, you can be in a world of hurt.
Yeah.
And yeah, the way structures work is you have to assign at least 1 pal to them. So if you only have big pals that you want to attack with, you're not getting your structure abilities. So
Yep.
you drop this down for pretty cheap. You assign it to your base because you can do, any of your main phase events or actions in any way that you want to. So yeah, you're boosting some power, you're getting some material most likely, and your big attackers are still able to do what they want to do, which is attack. So
Yeah.
Ruby is pretty good in that regard. And yeah, we'll point out here it has kindling and farming as its attributes, which means it can be assigned to structures that don't have a type or specifically kindling or farming.
Yeah. Which in red, I think kindling pops up quite a bit.
Yeah.
So, or at least with the limited card pool that we have, it pops up.
Yes.
All right. This next one is
Haha.
kind of,
I like these.
yeah, yeah. Go for it.
So yes, this is a red. Sorry, they're all red. This is a 3-cost normal pal called Flambell, Scorching Tears. And this one just has the ability on play, get 2 material. It has 400 power, it has strike 1. So this is a faster way to gain material for like quick bursts of using it. I have a green blue deck that I've built that wants to gain ingredients. And so there's a green card that's similar to this. When you play it, you get 2 ingredients. What I'm finding is that structures obviously will make more and more of your material or ingredients, but that requires a little bit more setup. It's more of a combo play. So if you are looking for just using a one-time consume this many material effect, you're going to load your deck with cards like these because just for playing them and putting a body into your base, they get you some materials. It's less sustainable, but you can still activate some of those more powerful mid to end game abilities if you drop a couple of these at any time, which I think is a really cool. Again, the deck building in this set one is so varied because you have to take things like this into account. It's like, do I need a lot of materials long term? Then I'm going to put Ruby and some structures in here. Or do I just need a couple by the time I get this specific pal out? I'm going to throw some Flambells in and hope to draw them early so that when I get to that bigger pal, I'll already have the materials in my stable.
I think it's cool because this is, if you need a bunch of material, this is just adding to that. Or if you want to just do like a combo, it could be part of like a 2-card combo. You play
Mhm.
this and then you play something else that's going to immediately consume the 2 material that you just made. I think especially for red, it kind of makes sense to play your materials and ingredients more like that because you probably don't want to waste too much time,
Yeah.
working at your structures. You want to just be like hitting your opponent as much as possible.
Yeah.
At least for the way that I play red.
Yes. Absolutely.
We've got Pyrin Cindersteed. This is a vanilla card, so no ability. It's just a normal pal. 6 cost, 1200, 2 strike.
I love it.
I
Uh,
I think that at least in the early stages of a card game, it's good to have some vanilla cards just to kind of pad out your deck. Like, this also has kindling and collecting as types, so even vanilla cards in this game have some relevancy in that maybe you might need them specifically to work at a specific type of structure. And 2 strike is always pretty good. I think this card is definitely a little underpowered compared to some of the other choices for this cost. But I think especially starting out, if your collection is limited, this can be a pretty solid card to just throw in there.
yeah. I'm also, always waiting for a future set that references vanilla cards like, hey, all your creatures with no abilities get +1 strike. And then suddenly
Yeah,
Pyron stock goes through the roof.
yeah.
So I'll be keeping an eye on
Oh,
the vanillas
what was
personally.
the name of that card in Battle Spirit Saga that you used to play
Yeah,
that
it
did
was a
that?
white structure,
Yeah,
like Forest of the Nameless or something.
yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember when that card came out, we lost our minds.
Yeah.
We were like,
I love a
"Whoa!
vanilla deck.
I have to go back through all my cards now." I love when a card game does that.
Me
So,
too.
but you heard it here
So
first.
you heard it here first.
Yeah.
Keep an
Can't-
eye out for Pyron.
all right, this is our last
Now then
pal.
we get into the like
Oh,
structure deck cards.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So this is the last pal of booster one
Okay.
in red. So this is Blaze Howl, Hellflame Defender. This is a 7-cost quick normal PAL.
Mm.
It has 1200 attack and 3 strike, which is really solid, but it has the action interrupt from hand in the quick window. You can pay 1 soul and discard this card, or discard this card and 1 other card from hand to nullify the opponent's attack. So it's not a lucky pal,
Nope.
meaning you get this ability where you can discard this to negate attacks. But also, strike 3 is great, especially at 7. Like,
Yeah.
if you can't get into your Yormintide, or you just really want to have a lot of top end big strikers, Blaze Howl goes in there and he has that added effect of being defensive. So definitely worth looking at popping into your deck. Maybe at like a 1 or a 2 of.
Yeah, I could see this being a one of, just as like it's your fifth Yormintide, kind of like late
Yeah.
game. Late game, I just need to push damage through and win, or maybe I just need this to help live one more turn
Yeah.
to get my Yormintide online. So pretty solid.
Absolutely.
All
All
right,
right.
should we get
Well,
into the structures from the booster
yeah.
set?
Our first structures.
All right, we've got mounted machine gun.
This thing made a fool of me last night on on the playtesting side of Palworld TCG.gg. I was like playing a red blue deck, a lot of constructs, and this one comes out and it destroyed me.
It's pretty
Physically,
solid.
emotionally. It's good.
So this is where a lot of your materials can go. It's a 4-cost structure. It has 1,000 durability. So another aspect of this game is you can attack other players' structures. So if you want to destroy this, you just have to meet or beat the 1,000 durability with your Palworld's power, with your Pal card's power. But then once per turn, you can consume X materials and assign 1 Pal. Perform, choose 1 Pal and deal 500 damage X times. So basically, if you've been saving up that wood, you've been at it. You can just throw it right into the fire here and just do
Oh
500
my
damage
gosh.
per material. And this is a crafting structure, so you need a crafting type Pal assigned to it to do that. But
Yeah.
yeah,
But this also means if you have Suzaku in play, each one of those woods is now dealing 700 damage.
yeah,
So, and you can assign anything with crafting here. I don't know if Lamball has crafting, but like something as insignificant and minuscule as a 2-cost Lamball can just get behind this mounted machine gun and
yeah.
ruin your day.
I
And I
imagine
think that's
I
awesome.
imagine Lamball does, because I think in a lot of the promotional art for the video game, I remember Lamball operating this.
Yeah. Yeah, and it hurts. It hurts when that happens. 3
Actually,
wood can kill even the strongest of your pals, and 4 definitely will.
I'm just
So,
gonna. Lamball does have crafting. I have confirmed it.
yeah, exactly.
So you can
Yep.
throw a Lamball in there. We'll get to Lamball later, but just know you can put a cute little sheep guy in charge of that machine gun. All right, you want to do the next one?
Yeah, real quick about this though. There's a saying in Keyforge called "kill the witches."
Uh huh.
Because notoriously in Keyforge there are creatures with the trait witch, and they all have like really busted abilities. So it's known kill the witches. And so then when cards were being printed that were similar to witches, we refer to them as witches. So I'm going to always refer to the mounted machine gun as a witch. Kill the witch. When it drops to the field, kill the witch.
Yeah.
All right, this next one is Primitive Furnace, a 2-cost structure with 800 durability, and the Kindling trait. As an action, once per turn, you can assign 1 pal to get 3 material and draw a card. Something that I love about this game too is every color does have card draw in one way or another.
Mhm.
Blue is obviously better at it with their actions, pals, and blah blah blah, but every color that I've seen so far also has structures that do something similar. Granted, you have to assign a pal, but you do get material and you usually get to draw a card on top of that. There are also some combos that the card itself, when it's assigned, lets you draw a card. So you're drawing 2 cards and ramping some materials. So it's something to keep in mind, especially these cheaper ones like this. It's a great way to get some cards back into your hand.
Yeah. And
Um,
this is a
it,
kindling structure, so you can put Ruby here and get that plus 400 attack
That's right,
bonus
yes.
too.
So you would get 3 mats, draw a card, and boost one of your other pals once per turn, which is really great. It has another action once per turn. You can consume X wood To reduce the cost of playing your next gear from your hand by X until the end of the turn. It does not become 0 or less from this ability, meaning down to a minimum of 1,
Mm,
which I think is nice. Like, you still have to spend some materials, so you're not, like, building a machine gun out of nothing.
yeah.
Um, so thematically, it's good. It's if you're paying attention and watching all these cards, you're now probably theory crafting a little bit in your head of, oh, okay, so this is where I can get lots of materials for my mounted machine gun or for my other thing, blah blah blah. So
Yeah.
it's solid. These structures, you got to watch out for them. You might want to throw some pals into them.
This one has 800 durability, so it's a little bit on the weaker side compared to the others. Also, I don't know that it's going to be targeted as much because it kind of just like is more of
Yeah.
a. It's not as big of a threat, but this is what helps you get those threats out there.
Yes, when comboed with your threats, it definitely can get out of hand.
All right, this next one, the Flame Cauldron. This is also in my all
Oh
red deck.
gosh.
2 cost, 900 durability structure. It just has a continuous ability while it's out. All of your red pals get 200 attack.
Oh
So
my
you don't even have
gosh.
to assign a pal to this. It just does that.
And
Um,
that's attack or defense.
it's just continuous. They just get 200. So
That's insane.
and then this also doesn't need anything assigned to it because the other ability is just automatically when your red pal is deployed, get 1 material. So this
Wow.
just you're making wood every time you drop a red pal, which this is going in your all red pal deck for sure.
Yeah.
Pretty solid card. Very simple yet and kind of like you see this thing come down and you think like I don't know if I want to waste my resources dealing with that, and then by turn 5 or 6 when this thing has done so much you're like I should have destroyed that.
Yeah. Especially with Gobfin, Ignis, you're looking at a lot stronger, cheaper pals. And I wonder if, yeah, you just kind of build a budget deck with blue splash to just draw a lot of cards. Now I'm thinking aggro. Now I'm you. Now I'm just
Yep.
you.
Yeah, it sounds like you're building the deck that I built earlier.
Oh
That's
no.
literally the deck I built.
That's very funny.
All right, this is our last structure from the booster pack.
Yes. So this is a 3 cost structure with 1100 durability called Alarm Bell. And as an action, once per turn, you may spend 1 soul and assign 1 pal. Stand all pals assigned this turn. So even the one that you just assigned to this. Until the end of the turn, your pals cannot be assigned and must attack as much as possible. So basically, with those other structures, you can assign your pals, get your resources, draw your cards, assign another pal to the alarm bell, and they all go right back into the base and they get to attack. They have to attack, actually.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of a scorched earth strategy. You're getting a lot of resources, but you're still able to attack with all these little pals that you've been sending, to work at your stations, and so that's a big turn for you, or it can be at the very least. It's a little nuanced for me. I don't know how I would build around this alarm bell, but the idea is neat, and obviously thematically it's very cool because in the game, when you build the alarm bell, you can set it to either focus on work or defend your base. So when your base is being raided, you ring the alarm bell, and everybody's on high alert, and they'll defend your base.
Every time I see this card, it makes me want to try and build a deck around it.
Yeah,
But I just feel like it would be a little too slow.
yeah,
Because you have to, in order to really get the full benefit out of this, you need like at least 4 other structures that need assignments. I mean, I guess at least like 2 to 3 at least, but 4 definitely would be best. And those things need to be doing stuff for you every turn, and then you need, I don't know. I think it is cool, like being able to double dip, like
yeah.
getting materials and benefits out of your structures and then also attacking. But a lot of the pals that you want assigned to structures, you don't necessarily want them to be on the attack. So
Right.
I don't know. It's
Unless you do.
unless you build your deck around it, in which case, that's where all my thoughts are bubbling up in my head, is
That
like,
could be pretty strong. You have big pals already,
yeah,
and you need some materials, and you psych your opponent out. You're like, "All right, I'm assigning Suzaku to my little berry farm," and they're like, "What?"
Yeah.
but then you play the alarm bell and they
Yep.
all go into battle. I don't know. Yeah, that's something that someone who's better at this game has probably already built a very good alarm bell deck. But that's one that after today I'm gonna really look at.
Yeah. I could see myself getting my ass kicked by this card. Like
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
how I know it's good. Is I'm like somebody who's better
Hmm.
at deck building than me could build around this and would just destroy me. So,
Yes,
um,
absolutely.
all right, now we're on to
Gear.
gear. We have Fox Park's BDSM harness. I mean harness. Uh, so this is our first gear out of the booster pack. It's a 3 cost. It has this activated ability here. Rest this card, choose one pal, it gets plus 200 until end of turn. If its main name is Fox Parks, it gets the skill in the brackets until end of turn. The skill that it gets is on attack, choose up to one pal, deal 700 damage.
Jeez,
I I think this card is like just too highly specific to be super useful right now, but as we get more Fox Parks cards, I think this is one I'm going to keep an eye on.
that's fair. Yeah, not to get ahead of ourselves, but there is a similar card design in green that I actually am running 4 of
Mm-hmm.
that specific gear. This isn't bad right now because I think there are 2 Fox Parks cards, meaning you have 8 targets for this one gear in a
Yeah.
deck at max. And this basically just says either I can take out 2 of your little pals or I can take out your one pal that's standing and then move Fox Sparks in to attack you directly. Like, it is pretty aggressive. I would say if this card cost 2, I would think about running it more.
Yeah, 3 is kind of expensive when
Mhm.
you're not immediately getting a benefit out of it other than plus 200 attack.
Yeah.
Um,
But maybe I'm wrong.
maybe I like I said, I think maybe if we got one more Fox Parks card, and especially if that Fox Parks card was like a bigger Fox Parks,
Yeah.
like like more of a mid range or just like a bomb Fox Parks card.
Yeah.
I think this could really see some play because I honestly that is the setup you're talking about for the green card, which we'll get to much later, but that's kind of the
Yeah.
arrangement you have with that is you have like the early, mid, and late game versions of that card, and
Yeah.
so the gear for it makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
So because you're fine drawing the gear at any point in the game with that card.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
with this
With this
card,
one, it's like, ah, damn, this affects my Fox Sparks, not
yeah,
my win condition.
yeah. All
But
right,
yeah.
this next one is fun.
Shoo, this next one is amazing. So it's a 7 cost red gear, the pump action shotgun.
Yeah,
On deploy, choose all of your opponent's pals and deal 1200 damage.
yep.
Again, with Suzaku out, that's 1400 damage to the
I
whole side of your opponent's board.
I run this if I'm playing red. I run at least one of these.
Yeah. It's essentially a board wipe,
Yeah,
which I don't know if purple has. And again, it's conditional because you have to make that math, but it's also just really strong
yeah,
against aggro builds, especially. This can just completely deplete your opponent's whole game plan when played at the right time. And then when it's in play, each turn you can rest it to choose one pal and give it plus 200 until the end of the turn.
yeah.
So it's a massive firepower as it's coming down to the field, but then it's not completely worthless every other turn after that.
That's one thing I like about the red gear is that because a lot of them are guns, it's just like it does this big shot when it enters the battlefield, and then it just kind of is helps you because red is so reliant on making math work. It just helps you with the math.
Yes, exactly.
So very thematically red. I like it. Speaking of which, makeshift handgun, pretty much the same card, just not as powerful. So 2 cost red gear on deploy, choose up to one pal, deal 500 damage. It doesn't have to be standing or anything. You can just pick it and do
Right.
500. And then it has the standard gun ability of rest this card, give one of your pals 200 attack till end of turn. Pretty solid. It's
Yeah.
not quite as powerful as the shotgun, but still fun.
What this does, though, that you have to keep in mind is for very cheap, again, you can trade into a bigger target for littler stuff on your own side. Fox Sparks attacks, gets brave, goes up to 500, right? Makeshift gun comes down, deals 500. And then you can give that Foxparks 200. That means with just Foxparks and a makeshift handgun, you can kill something 1200 or less.
Yeah.
And that's not nothing. Pair that with other red cards that are already in play, and that number goes up and up and up. So, like, red really is all about cheating the math and making better trades than your opponent.
Red's fun. It's my favorite color so far.
Red is fun. This is the last gear in the booster pack. It's a 3-cost stone pickaxe. As an action, you rest this card, choose one pal. It gets 200 attack until the end of the turn, and you get 1 material. So another way to ramp your mats and power up your pals once every turn. So
Yeah.
once this is out, you're getting mats every single turn. And as we saw with the mounted machine gun, that can build up pretty quickly and help you turn the tides of the battle.
Maybe I highly undervalue material creation, but this card to me feels kind of like booster pack fodder.
I
Like
think it can be good. I think it's definitely good in a sealed environment or in a
in a
draft.
sealed environment, yeah, especially if you have no other way to get materials
Yeah.
and this is what you pull, you're like, okay, I'll use that.
Yeah. But I'm probably not packing a stone pickaxe. I'm probably doing any other way to generate gear better.
Yeah.
If it let me draw a card, yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, if this just said draw a card at the end of that sentence, it'd be amazing.
It'd be really good. Yeah.
All right, then we've got our last 2 red cards from the booster set. These are events. We've got Axel's Strategy. You're going to see a theme with each color. There's a strategy card, and this is reds. 4-cost event. So you just play this, it does a thing, and then it goes away. You choose one of the 3 following abilities, and that's how all the strategies work. So you either choose one pal and deal 1500 damage. Oh
Damn.
boy, that's a lot of damage.
That is.
The next one, choose up to X pals and stand them. X is equal to your number of gears. So pretty powerful if you just play a bunch of guns to kill things, and then later on you can use this to finish off your opponent.
So back to Ragnarok, being able to stand it and let it attack again.
Oh.
Then all the rest of your pals have 2000 attack and 2 extra strike. So as long as you have a gear in play, you can ready Ragnarok and do it again.
Oh my god. I didn't even think of that. That's so good. Yeah. Oh,
big brain over here.
I need to stick this in that deck.
Yeah.
I don't think I had any of these in there, but I should.
I have the special foil one. It's like $125.
We tried to sell it to somebody at Gen Con, but nobody would pick it up. Not because we're trying to be dirty scalpers, but mainly because we want more money to buy more Palworld cards. Yeah, we want more cards.
Yeah, if you guys, if anyone out there wants the OSR version of this,
yeah,
let me know.
Yeah, honestly, you might trade it for like a booster box or 2, you know?
Yeah. I would absolutely do that.
So the last one, choose all of your opponent's 5 or greater pals, and they cannot block until end of turn. So if your opponent has a bunch of big guys blocking your way, I like that you can pick one of these 3, so you can kind of decide like in the moment what works best to get, to further your game plan. All of these strategy cards, and this is why I think like the OSR version that you pulled is, or whatever rarity you pulled is valuable, is because these, I think, if you're playing that color, you could see yourself playing this card for one of these abilities, if not all 3. So
yeah, absolutely.
All right, last event card from the main booster set.
Yes, this is a 2-cost event called Treasure Chest Found, and I love the art on this.
I was gonna say, I was looking through cards earlier. I think this might be my favorite art in the whole game right now.
It's so good.
I would love a playmat of this.
Yeah, me too. It's got the what's the cat's name? Cativa and Lamball.
Yeah.
Peering into a treasure chest. The Cativa has a ha ha ha, I found the treasure look on its
and then
face.
Lamball's just like, whoa.
Yeah, that's our thumbnail.
Oh yeah. Thank you for bearing with us while we made a thumbnail.
Yeah. Look at the top 5 cards of your deck. Choose up to 1 red structure or red gear from among them. Add it to your hand. Shuffle the rest of the cards into the deck. If you, for some reason, did not get a card, you get 3 material instead. So honestly, with that just last sentence, this is a pretty versatile card. I feel like it's a good way, again, this is technically card draw, right? Which red kind of
Yeah,
struggles with. So it's the classic, like, I'm going to take a chance, look at the top 5 cards of my deck, 10% of my deck, and I'm just looking for that one red structure or red gear that I need. If I don't, for whatever reason, I get 3 mats that I can hopefully use somewhere else.
yeah.
So not bad. Not bad.
I
I don't know if this is a 4 of, but
I think you definitely
maybe throw a couple.
play at least like a 2 of in your mounted machine gun deck.
Yeah.
Because you're
It's,
either searching for the mounted machine gun or it's already out and you just want 3 material off of this.
yeah,
And it says
pretty good.
choose, so you can actually see structures and gear and then decide to just shuffle them back in and take the 3, you know.
Yes,
So
exactly. So pretty versatile card. Very good for specifically mounted machine gun.
again, I love the art on this one.
So good. So good.
All right, now we're into the structure deck cards.
Yes.
So I'll start things off with a pretty heavy hitter here. This is Grisbolt Rumbling Tank. He is a 7 cost Lucky Pal, and he has a bunch of different types there in the bottom. He has a
Yeah.
continuous ability, Assault, so he can attack pals in the stand state, so you can target stuff that your opponent's trying to leave up to block. But he has 1600 attack and 4 strike, so he's very powerful.
And I love his design. He just looks like Electivire Totoro, and it's awesome. He's a poster child for the game anyway. I just got my first Alpha Grisbolt in the video game, and I built him his machine gun, and I ride on his back, and he shoots everybody to hell. And it's awesome. And in the game, he has that same kind of presence on the battlefield. 1600 power is very good, especially for only cost 7. He's a lucky pal, and strike 4 is so much. So you can be really aggressive with this guy on Yormintide, and you have 8 cards that strike 4.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
pretty solid.
It's really solid.
All right. Next up, we've
one
got.
of our favorites.
I love this little guy.
This is Joltog, shocking yet innocent. So he's a 2 cost normal pal with the electricity keyword, which I don't know if we have a lot of electrical structures yet, but in the video game, this is the guy who powers up my little battery so that my assembly lines work. He has 300 attack, 1 strike. He's vanilla. He's aggro. He's adorable.
Yeah, I love this little guy. He's a
Yeah.
4 of in my aggro deck, along
Yep.
with his blue counterpart that we'll get to another day.
Yep.
We've got Kelp Sea Ignis Balmy Magma. It's another vanilla. So there's a lot of vanillas in the starter deck, which kind of makes sense because you're kind of just learning the base mechanics of the game. This guy's pretty good. 3 cost, normal pal, 500 attack, 1 strike. The numbers just make sense on him. So if you're ramping
Yeah.
up from the Jolt Hog into your 3, you're just like more attack power. Pretty solid.
All right, so this next one is Fox Sparks, a Toasty Hug. It's a 4 cost normal pal with Kindling, 400 attack and 2 strike. Pretty good for a 4 cost pal. And this is another one of those Ice Shield pals. It has the action of Interrupt from your hand. During the quick window, you can spend 1 soul and discard this card, or discard this card and 1 other card to nullify the opponent's attack. Battle damage does not occur. So again, like if you're building around the Fox Sparks harness and you need to put in 8 Fox Sparks, this one not only goes towards that strategy, but it has that ability that you can discard it from your hand to protect yourself in the long term. Still don't know how good that would be overall to build a deck around, but it's a very cute card.
Yeah, I love the art on this one. I wonder if we'll convince other people to start calling this Ice Shield ability.
Yeah, yeah.
That's kind of what I'm probably going to call it, just from Battle Spirits. But it'd be one
Yeah.
of those things where people either understand what we're talking about or they don't. But
Yeah.
maybe some people will use the term without even knowing where it originates from.
That'd be pretty funny.
All right.
This next one's very good, I think.
Oh, yeah. So this is Arsox, Burning Spoils. He's a normal pal, and on deploy you get 2 material and then 800 attack, 2 strike. So he's pretty solid. He's going to create material when he comes out, and then he attacks and does his job. If they kill him, you don't really care because you got the materials, you did your 2 strike, you killed something with 800 power. He's pretty solid.
Yeah. This one, combined with, again, not very expensive things, is also a pretty good structure killer
Yeah.
for the mid game. Like before your opponent can really utilize those structures, you pop this in on a turn 5. Maybe you have Gobfin from the turn before. This thing has 1100 power and can kill pretty much any structure on your opponent's side of the field, and you get materials in return. Also kills the little chumps pretty easily. And again, just getting mats on deploy and then not worrying about what it does afterwards is solid. All right. The next one, Moss Sanda Lux, Vanguard Captain. This is a 6 cost normal pal. As an action, you can consume 2 materials, and this card gets 500 until the end of the turn. And that is not a once per turn effect, meaning you can consume any amount of pairs of materials to ramp him up and up and up and up to take down your opponent's foes. So I think this is a pretty solid card. If you have a lot of materials to spend,
Yeah.
this is your equalizer.
You
This guy can come in and kill anything.
you combo him with the last card we just showed. Like maybe you have that other you play that other card and the next turn you play this, and then
Yeah.
bam, you eat that 2 wood and now you're 1600. 1100 power to start out with is also pretty solid.
Yeah, especially when the scaling is just 2 mats for 500. Phew. He tops a lot of the biggest pals printed costs with just 4 materials.
Yeah. He's pretty solid. I wish that this would probably break him, so I don't think they would do this, but I wish he had a quick subtext on this so that you could do it during your opponent's turn. But
That would be cool.
yeah.
That would be cool.
I think it'd be kind of broken,
I
but
think, yeah, he'd be very broken.
but it'd be cool.
Yeah.
Just to see what it would do. All right, this next one is Blazamut, Molten Sovereign. So he's an 8-cost Lucky Pal, 1600 attack, 3 strikes. This is another one of your like big boss monsters that you need to consider for your deck. He has an auto on deploy, choose up to 1 pal, deal 1000 damage to it. Again, kind of advancing that red strategy. I want to really like this guy, but anytime I'm trying to find room for him in my deck, especially with him being a Lucky Pal, I just, even in the limited card pool we have, I just can't find space for him.
He's a structure deck card, right? It's
Yeah.
like, oh, this guy's cool, and it explains the mechanics, and he does something really powerful in the world of structure decks versus structure decks. 1000 damage kills a lot of purple. A lot of purple.
Yeah.
So I think that's something to consider. And again, something they did consider in the structure decks. But yeah, this is one that you probably pull him out when you get better cards from the booster packs to put into that lucky spot. I mean, even Grisbolt, if you're combining the structure deck with some boosters, you might just be running 4 Yormantide for Grisbolt.
Yeah.
And Blazamut kind of moves off to the side. But in the context of the structure deck, yeah, he's pretty cool. The art is awesome. The character is very cool. There are better options, I think. I agree.
Yeah. It's weird because 1000 damage is not nothing, but it also.
Correct.
I just feel like 1000 is in this weird threshold, at least in the cards we have right now. Maybe there's a card that comes out later that is 1000 that is really hard to deal with, and this guy becomes very popular as like a meta pick. Like maybe there's like a card that's like can't be, it has 1000 power or less, maybe 800 or something, can't be selected for attacks and does some crazy ability. Then like, okay, Blazamut makes a lot of sense because you put him in as like a counter to that. So maybe again, could be a card that's better later, but in the structure deck's decent. But I think once you start building decks with the booster packs, I think he falls out.
Yep, I agree.
All right, now we're into structures.
Yeah, the first of 2 structures in the structure deck. This is a 1-cost red structure called Stone Pit. It has 600 durability. Action, once per turn, assign 1 pal, get 3 materials, draw 1 card. This is solid because it's so cheap. It ramps your materials in a way that you could drop this from your hand late game, still have 9 souls to work with.
Yeah.
But get some materials, draw a card, drop something bigger that uses those materials, and just go to town. It is weaker, obviously, easier to kill. But again, this is one of the more unassuming structures. Or maybe I'm just saying that now. But that's pretty good. Cheap ramp is always good, especially once again in a color like red that doesn't have a ton of draw power on its own.
Yeah, I'm thinking you go second and you have this and a 2-cost pal that can assign itself to it. And
Yep.
then you, like, on your turn 1, you're making 3 materials and you're drawing a card, and then whatever else your pal did that you put into play. So,
Yeah.
um,
Solid second, first turn.
yeah. Building into the machine gun later.
Yep. Yep.
All roads lead to machine gun.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Speaking of which, we got Weapon Workbench.
That's
It's a 3-cost, 1100 durability structure. Once per turn, consume 1 material, assign 1 pal, choose up to 1 pal, and deal 800 damage to it. Choose all of your pals, and they get strike +1 until end of turn. Pretty solid.
insane.
Yeah.
That's another witch structure. It has
Yeah.
1100 durability, so you're gonna want to take that out.
Yeah.
For 1 mat, everybody gets extra strike, and you get to potentially kill something on your opponent's side of the field.
Yeah.
That's good.
Imagine somebody has like an 800 or less power pal that they're planning to use to block, and then you just
Yeah,
play this and kill it, and then now you're swinging in for extra strike also. Like, man,
yeah.
feels bad.
And remember, all of these cards that are dealing indirect damage are being buffed by Suzaku.
Yeah. All right. We got another gun.
We do have another gun. This is a 4-cost gear, the single shot rifle. On deploy, choose up to 1 pal, deal 1500 damage. That's really good. And as an action, you can rest it, choose a pal, it gets +200 until the end of the turn. So instead of the area of effect from the shotgun, this is a 1 pal. But for 4 cost to do 1500, there's a purple spell that says 4 cost kill a pal.
Yeah.
So this is like red's answer to that. Again, it's a little conditional, but 1500 covers a lot of targets, especially good targets at the range of only 4 souls.
Yeah. And if that doesn't cover it, you
Solid.
give one of your little dudes +200 and you finish the job.
Yep, exactly.
This card is awesome, and also thematically it just does crazy stuff. Like last night I was playing against Jonathan and he played a little penguin guy, and then I'm like, I will shoot your penguin. And like when I played it down, it felt like I boop, like shot him
Yeah,
in the head, you know?
a single shot,
Yeah.
which I just unlocked the single shot rifle in the video game.
Oh yeah.
And it is really satisfying. Like if I'm hunting for materials, I
Hmm.
just see a group of lamb ball and I'm like, they don't even know what's about to hit them. It's just pop, pop, pop.
Yeah, this 1500 on here is pretty solid, and also part of the reason why Blazamut doesn't feel as powerful to me is because we have cards like this.
Yeah, you could play 2 of these and kill 2 bigger creatures than playing Blazamut.
Yeah.
Granted, Blazamut does have 3 strike, which is great.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Last card, but definitely not least as far as red goes. This is our last card.
Yeah.
This card reminds me so much of Burning Force from Battle Spirit
That's
Saga.
it.
Which was also one of the like original. I don't think it was a starter deck card, but it was a like set 1 card. But anyways, it's a quick event, so you can play this during any of those quick windows. So like in the middle of attacking and stuff. Choose 1 pal, deal 500 damage for 2. So again, your opponent attacks you with a little guy, you kill it. You can do it during their
Yep.
turn. Your opponent kills one of your pals and thinks that their pal is safe, you finish it off because
Yep.
damage remains until the end of the turn. So I think this card is I've been playing it as at least a 3 of in my red decks. In some cases, if I have an extra card slot and I don't know what to put in, I'll just put a 4th one in. And
Yep.
it's really solid. You just really have to take advantage of the quick speed and realize that you can play it during your opponent's turn. That's really
Yes.
where the power of this card comes into play.
Yes. There's not a ton of interrupt cards at the moment.
Hmm.
And the ones that there are, most of them are that ice shield effect, right? Where you discard this and spend a soul, or discard 2 cards to stop the attack. But then there are these little ones that do something different, and it makes me excited for more interrupts in the future. I do like how snappy and quick the game is, so I don't need like a ton of really complicated interrupts. But like cards like this and one in the blue that we'll get to, especially, feel like really powerful staple cards right now. And so I am excited for more of that design space to come through in the future.
Yeah. I agree. I think it also from a competitive standpoint, knowing that these quick cards, these interrupt cards exist, and having to consider how many souls my opponent has standing, what could they
Yeah.
possibly play like right now. I think that's where a lot of the fun of a card game comes in for like a
Yes.
sick fuck like me. So
Yeah.
all right, and that's it for red. So let's
Yeah.
quickly do the colorless cards and let's wrap this with a little bow.
Yeah, this has been a lot of fun. First episode back, first episode of the Pal Pod.
Yeah, first episode of the Pal Pod. It feels like the old days. It feels like when we
Oh,
were
feels
just
good.
chatting about a brand new Battle Spirit Saga set. I can't wait to do this with future sets of this card game too.
Yeah, it's just getting my creative juices flowing, which is
Yeah,
something I like to say a lot during the Battle Spirits ones.
yeah.
But yeah, we got 7 cards left here. Let's knock them out, and then we'll see you in the next color video. This is like one of my favorite pals now, and he shows up in different ways, and I really really like him. This is Elphadran, a 4-cost neutral pal. Real quick, for deck building, you pick up to 2 colors to use in your deck, but then there are these neutral cards or these colorless cards that can exist in any deck. So Elphadran Gentle Radiance, 4-cost normal pal, has an automatic ability of on attack, you may reveal 1 card from your hand. If you revealed a dragon pal this way, this card gets 500 until the end of the turn. And it starts at 600 power and has 2 strike. So tribal, it's a tribal theme. Like if you find yourself slotting some dragon types, maybe you splash in this little colorless guy. For 4 cost, being able to go up to 1100, he can deal with some targets. But also 2 strike is not bad for a 4-cost card.
So, spoiler, I was building another deck last night. and this is
What?
and this is the card that inspired this other deck. I decided to build a dragon deck.
Nice. I want to
So
build a dragon deck too.
yeah, and there's quite a few really good dragons.
Yeah.
So even in the limited card pool we have, I will say, and again, thank you so much to Palworld TCG.gg for allowing us to have this amazing resource. One thing that would be really helpful to add, especially as the game progresses, and I have no doubt that they will, is I did not have a way to filter by dragon type.
Right.
But I'm assuming that'll be added later. I'm surprised we have this much functionality this quickly. So
Oh my gosh.
I
Yeah.
am by no means complaining. But
Yeah.
that is something I'd like to see just because it would help building these like tribal decks later, make it a lot easier. But yeah, I think again, this is one of those cards you have to build around, but I think if you're building around it, it's pretty good. 1100
Yep.
attack, 2 strike if you reveal a dragon.
Yeah.
So, and maybe you just the other dragon you reveal is the one you were going to play that turn anyways, so it's like basically just, just a check. Do you have a dragon in hand?
Yeah.
Not even really giving the opponent information.
Yeah. I like it.
All right, this next guy is Dire Howl Proudfang. He's a normal pal. 3 cost 500 attack, strike 1. He's similar to a lot of the other 3 cost 500 attack, strike 1 pals that we've seen. Or at least, I guess we haven't seen all of them because we'll see them in the other colors, but there tends to be one of these in each color. That's just like a vanilla 3 cost 500 attack, 1 strike. I guess the only reason I would play this over one of the color specific ones is that it has the harvesting type. So like if that's relevant to my deck, I would probably play this over, say like I can't remember the name of him, but the little fire guy that has the same stats. So
Kelpsy Ignite.
Yeah, Kelpsy. Yeah.
Kelpsy Ignis. Yeah.
So
yeah, that's what I'm finding with these neutral cards. Is like, again, set 1, you need to pad out your deck anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, they all kind of fit one little niche that matches with like another couple of color combinations. So you'll see here in a minute, like with the Lamball or Chickapee, specifically, I guess Ribbunny and Chickapee, they are neutral characters that can ramp you materials or ingredients, and that typically is worth slotting them in, and they're just cheap.
Yeah. Really cool thing about this card is I feel like this character is an homage to Monster Rancher.
Yeah, it does look like Tiger a
Yeah.
lot, and I love it. I love Tiger.
This next card, I'm very curious to talk about this one with you.
Yes, I saw this in my booster pack, opened it, and I was like, oh, this could be neat.
Amazing
but it
art on this
definitely
one.
requires some setup. Very cool art.
This
This
is
would
an
also be a
this is
great
another
playmat.
yeah, and this is another
Yeah.
playmat worthy piece of art.
Yes. It's called The Adventure Begins. It's a 2-cost event. If you have not played any other cards during this game, draw 2 cards.
Mhm.
So basically, if this is the first thing you do on your first turn, whether going first or second, you get to draw 2 cards. But it also has another ability, so it's not just a turn 1 play. If you have 3 or more pals with my first in their different card names, choose all of your pals. They get 1,000 attack and +5 strike until the end of the turn.
Yeah.
I want to build a colorless deck
Yeah,
around
so
this.
is that what the purpose of this is? You put it in a deck with like the colorless, like Lamball, Kativa, like all of those
And
cards.
Chicopee.
Chicopee.
Yes. So yeah, there are 3 neutral cards right now that have the My First Pal subtext, meaning you would have 12. So if you have 3 or more of those in play, they get 1,000 attack and +5 strike. So like, holy crap, that +5. So they're swinging for 6.
Yeah.
So you could just load the deck with draw, drop 3 of them out, and the adventure begins all in one turn, and try to swing for, up to 18.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I don't know about this card. It feels a little bit like a trap. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
It's a pet deck, it's a meme deck, but
yeah.
it would be fun. You know what we'll do is one of us will build this and we'll play it on a video and we'll see if we can get it to work. I
This
think that'd be really fun.
this definitely sounds like a U deck. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I will build this deck. I
uh,
will build this deck and
um,
we'll see if it's any good.
I just feel like the first ability is not as powerful as it needs to be. Like, um,
No.
I think you should. I think it should. Honestly, it could say draw 4, and I would think it was fair.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
because like the chances of drawing this in your opening hand, and then also forfeiting this other amazing ability, assuming you built your deck around this later.
Right.
Like drawing
Yeah.
2 cards for 2 just doesn't feel very good.
I don't think I would enjoy playing this as my first card. I think I'm holding it or mulliganing it if I see it. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's definitely in here for that crazy secondary effect. And it's not like in Pokemon, Team Rocket's Ariana says if you only have Team Rocket's Pokemon, you can draw this many instead. This one just says if you have 3 or more pals with my first, meaning you can still run other pals. You can still run other things in your deck and have them on the field. But the prerequisite just means if you have 3 at least out of 5 pals with my first in their name, all of your pals, including the other 2
Yeah.
that aren't my first, get that +5 strike. So you could do this with Yormantide.
9-strike Yormantide that can attack
9-strike
twice.
Yormantide. Exactly. Like you just literally stack this deck with low end, high end, and draw. And I think there's something here to it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna work on this deck.
Yeah. It's interesting for sure.
Yeah.
This little guy, this next one. Lamball, my first pal. He's a 2-cost. This was my first pal in the game.
This was my first pal also.
He's a 2-cost normal pal, has a continuous ability, cannot be attacked by cost 4 or greater pals, and then 200 attack, 1 strike. Actually pretty solid. I have him in my aggro deck because late game you play him and your opponent can't kill him with big guys. They have to use a little guy to deal with him. And a lot of times in late game, they just don't have any of those anymore. So he just like gets through every turn unless they leave somebody standing to block him. So
yeah, because he can still be blocked by 4 or greater pals.
Yeah, he can be blocked by them, but if I'm killing them with my single shot rifle and
yeah, and once again, this little bastard can get on that mountain machine gun. So
yeah, don't let his cute little
Lamball
face
deter you from stomping him into the dirt.
Yeah. All right.
The next one is a 2-cost neutral pal, Ribbunny, Little Princess, adorable, 200 power, 1 strike, automatic. When this card is put into the graveyard, get 1 material. So you can use it as a chump blocker, get some mats. You can use it as an attacker, and maybe they'll run into it just to get it off the board. You get a mat. Again, just another way to accelerate that specific type of resource for your decks that care about it. I would throw that in there.
Kativa, my first pal, 2 cost, normal pal, has a bunch of types, like subtypes in the bottom, so it can do a lot of stuff with structures. And then kind of the opposite of Lamball, cannot be attacked by 3 or less pals, so can only be attacked by the big ones. The big ones have to take this one out.
Yeah.
And
So
200
he's a
power, 1
safe,
strike.
yeah, he's a safe like early game pal because he can't be countered.
Yeah,
So you can do a little aggressive pinging in the beginning.
yeah. I
Or,
guess,
I'll just give it 5 strike at the end of the game and
yeah. Make it 1200 6 strike.
yeah,
That's crazy.
that is pretty crazy.
All right, okay, maybe I'm kind of on board with this deck now. I think
I'm telling you,
this discussion is. I want to see it. I want to see it. I gotta.
yeah, I want to see it in
If I
action.
see it, I might believe it.
All
Uh,
right, last one.
yeah,
This is Chickapee, my first pal. 2 cost neutral pal, 200 power, 1 strike, auto. When this card is put into the graveyard, get +1 ingredient. And it has harvesting and farming subtexts. I run this in my green-blue deck
you sure do.
because it needs materials, and I love him. He's a cutie. He's just a chicken. He's
Yeah.
an egg-shaped chicken with some attitude, and ramping ingredients is good for me. And that'll do it. That's our first episode of the Pal Pod, baby.
Yeah. Do we want to do a little quick champ or chump?
Yeah.
All right.
So I'm back on him.
So, for those of you that are new to the CasualPetitive Games channel, we have a little segment we like to do called Champ or Chump, where we, with our not so expert opinions,
Yeah.
our CasualPetitive opinions, decide whether we want to give this card the status of champ or the status of chump. There's no, middle ground. It's either king or it's either a champ or he's a chump. So, Blasphemous
Yeah.
Molten Sovereign, 8 cost, Lucky Pal, Kindling collecting type, 1600 attack, strike 3, auto on deploy, choose up to 1 pal, deal 1000 damage. All right. Maybe controversial, but I'm going to give this guy chump.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's like I said earlier, I think that on paper there's a lot of really good things about him. I think 1600 attack is great. I think strike 3 is awesome. I think Lucky Pal is actually what pulls him down for me. I think because you're only allowed to have 8 Lucky Pals, I think the fact that he does 1000 damage when he comes in is just not quite enough of an ability for me to use up one of my precious Lucky Pal slots for him. And that's why I give him the chump rating.
Yep. I have to agree. I would call this guy a chump also. Just back to our earlier discussion, I think it is a structure deck card, meaning you're going to find something better to fill that slot. If this was a normal pal, like you said, I would definitely consider throwing a couple more copies into him to really pad that top end aggression. But because of that lucky symbol, I got to go with chump as well.
Yeah, it's crazy. You would think that Lucky Pal would be like an additional like boon to him, but actually I think I think it hurts him.
I think it does. I think it does.
Now, we want to hear from you all listeners. What do you think? Champ or chump on Blasphemous? Are you anybody out there like full on champ on this guy? Are you like, is he your favorite Palworld pal?
Yeah.
Are you building him like a deck around him with 4 of him in your deck? Let us know.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Let us know. Absolutely. I just posted his picture into the champ or chump window of our Discord, which if you want to join, I'm sure the link will be in the description of this episode. Come on in, hang out with a bunch of people who love a lot of different games, built a really cool community during the Battle Spirit Saga days, and they're still hanging around, man. Like they're still in the Discord, and we'd love to revitalize that. So if that's something that sounds good to you, come on by. It's a really cool community. Again, just some really nice people, and they're always chatting about a lot of different games, posting pictures of like model kits and what they ate for dinner and their deck lists and talking about all the locals that they've been to. It's really, really fun. And obviously we're going to have a pretty big focus on the Palworld TCG itself. So if you're just here for that, we have a space for you. So come on over to the CasualPetitive Games Discord and say what's up.
Yeah, and if you've drank any shark bowls at Applebee's, we have a channel for you to post pictures of that in as well, specifically.
Yeah.
So, thank you all for joining us on our first step into the world of PAL, the PAL
Yeah,
world, if you will, or as Bushi Road likes to put it, the PAL word. So
Palward.
the PAL word.
That's right.
Thanks for joining us. Next time we're going to talk about blue cards, and we'll
Mm,
see you there. So goodbye.
goodbye.